Preventative maintenance is a key component in taking care of your espresso making equipment. This is a routine that we suggest doing at least quarterly for commercial machines and at least twice a year for home machines. This is the process of changing your wear parts on your espresso machine. That means your basket, your gasket, and your screen. We have our new basket for the portafilter, a screen and gasket for our espresso machine group head, and then the tools to perform this routine. A flathead screwdriver, a scratch owl, the Caffewerks Basket Buddy, a group head brush, blank or blind portafilter disc, cleaning agent, and a bowl. Let's get started. I'm going to start by removing the portafilter from the group head. Using the Basket Buddy tool, we're going to insert the edge over the ear of the portafilter and just gently pry up. We can do that on the other side as well. This just gently removes the basket from the portafilter. You can pop it up. We're going to place that into our bowl with the entirety of the portafilter. We're going to fill that with a little bit of hot water. You can do this directly off of the espresso machine, or if you have a hot water tap, that's helpful too. We're going to add a little bit of our espresso machine cleaner into that bowl, and we're just going to let the portafilter soak while we clean the group head. The first step we need to do to change out our screen and gasket on the Slayer espresso machine is to remove the screen. We're going to do that by using a flathead screwdriver. Here's why we need to change out these screens so often. Delicious in there. This is the screw that holds the group head screen, the dispersion screen, into the group head. It is also a good idea to replace these probably once a year, as they do experience wear just from heating and cooling. Next up, we're going to remove the gasket. We are removing and replacing a Caffewerks silicone gasket. These will stay soft in the group head longer than a traditional rubber gasket will, so it shouldn't be too hard to remove. But for ease of removing it, we're going to use a scratch owl. This tool should only be used for removing a gasket, never for helping set a new gasket into the group head. To use this tool, we're going to try to gently puncture the gasket and pull down. It's important to note that when you are replacing gaskets on any espresso machine, you will be destroying the gasket in the process. The older the gasket is in the group head, the more difficult it may be to remove it. Sometimes if you're removing a rubber gasket especially, that will come out in chunks. That's really normal. A silicone gasket is more likely to stay in one piece, but puncturing it and tearing it is a normal part of the removal process. And then we're just gonna throw this guy away. Using the group head brush, we're going to dip this into the hot solution of water and the espresso machine cleaner just to get a little of the detergent on it. Gently run this brush up around the space in the group head to try to dislodge and remove any residual coffee oils or coffee grounds that may have accumulated over time. Once you've loosened everything up with the brush, using a microfiber towel can help just wipe everything down so we're nice and clean in there for the new parts. As you go to install your new Caffewerks silicone gasket, you want the words to face up into the group head. We're going to use our hands to install the gasket into the machine. First, by just gently using a finger to press the gasket up into the group head. If it's really hot in there like this machine is, you can use your flathead screwdriver to just very gently help seat it all the way up. Next, you're going to take your new screen. This is the Caffewerks BaristaFlo Precision screen with a very fun skate wheel pattern on it. And your screw. placing the screw through the center hole first, and then using your fingers to finger tighten the screw as high as you can go. And then using that same flathead screwdriver to twist it just until you feel a little resistance. You don't want to crank it over any harder because as these pieces warm up in the group head, the metal will expand a little bit. If you over tighten, you may jam the screw into the group head and you have a whole nother problem. Finally, we're going to take our portafilter out of its soaking solution and just give it a little wipe down. In this case, we're using a bottomless portafilter for this machine, so there's not a lot of surface area that needs cleaning. If you are using a spouted portafilter, using a cloth or that same group head brush to really scrub the bottom of the portafilter can be a helpful step to take. To replace our new basket, we're just going to place it right on the portafilter and push in and twist our portafilter in. I like to do this step just a few times to make sure everything feels nice and seated and it is nice and snug in there. The last step is to use our gasket service date sticker. This comes with all gaskets and baskets purchased at Caffewerks.com. This is a fun way to know when you last serviced your machine and what was serviced. Sort of like a oil change sticker for your car, and then apply it sort of to a hidden spot on your espresso machine. As mentioned in the beginning of the video, replacing these every quarter to every 6 months is a great routine to practice.